the statewide races had a lot of ticket splitting in Nevada, with Democrats winning for Secretary of State and Attorney General, but Republicans, Stavros Anthony defeating Lieutenant Governor Lisa Cano Burkhead for Lieutenant Governor, and Republican Andy Matthews defeating Democrat Ellen Spiegel in the race for Controller. So did the fraudsters just switch certain parts of the ballots? Yes, the Nevada results took time based on the way votes are counted under state law. But a Republican challenger was just declared the winner for governor. And both he and the current Democratic governor who lost were gracious in their comments, of course, accepting the results. And yet some in the far-right media float the idea of fraud, Tucker Carlson just asking questions on Friday night.
They don't wait days for election results in Ghana, in Venezuela, whatever you think of it. They tally their ballots within hours. But suddenly we can't manage to do that? Clark County, Nevada, the home of Las Vegas, says there are still tens of thousands of ballots left to count. They're saying they haven't counted the votes. Really? What is this? Is this fraud? We're not sure.
We're just asking, right? Just asking questions. We don't know. Maybe. Again, in all these places, and almost all these other places abroad, where people say, how can they count in hours? The answer is they got one election. And that's the difference. And that's what we're going to talk about in a moment. And of course, Donald Trump got in on the calls of fraud. He wrote last week on social media, quote, Clark County, Nevada has a corrupt voting system. Be careful, Adam, referring to Laxalt, as do many places in our soon-to-be third world country. Clark County put out a lengthy statement responding to Trump, quote, we've heard these outrageous claims, but he obviously is misinformed about the law and our election processes that ensure the integrity of elections in Clark County. First, we could not speed up the process even if we wanted to. Nevada state law requires us to accept and process all mail ballots received before 5 p.m. Saturday, November 12th, if they're postmarked on or before Election Day. Nevada law requires we check each signature on every ballot envelope, and if one does not match what's in our records, we're required by law to give that voter until 5 p.m. on Monday, November 14th to cure their signature. In addition, there are provisional ballots to process and will not be able to complete that task until we receive reports from the Nevada Secretary of State's office on Wednesday, November 16th. This process ensures that individuals do not vote twice in Nevada. Remember, trying to prevent voter fraud. Bottom line, if you want to make the results come in faster, change the law. Okay. But don't blame, us is basically what they're saying. Now, the former sheriff of that very county, Clark County, where they're alleging this stuff happened, a Republican, will become governor of Nevada now. It is odd that none of the election deniers or questioners are asking about fraud in his race. Joining me now is Elizabeth Thompson, the co-founder, editor-in-chief of the Nevada Independent. She's been covering Nevada politics and government for nearly 15 years. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. All right, so I want to talk to you about the ballot because, people throw out allegations of fraud. We think there might be fraud, et cetera. But when you think about how many different elections there are on a ballot, someone would have to go in and cherry pick, right, which ones they were going to keep and which ones they were going to switch, and they'd have to go ballot by ballot and figure out how to do that.
That's correct, and it's highly improbable, as I think your viewers are gathering from your comments there, Dan. I could not have done a better job myself of explaining the lay of the land here. It is the law right now. Universal mail-in ballots can be received and counted, as you pointed out, until Saturday. And today there was signature curing and some provisional ballots that needed to be dealt with as well. But you hit it right on the head. The bottom line is that here in Nevada this cycle, we did have quite a bit of ticket splitting. And it's just obvious when you look at the vote totals, starting with Republican Governor-elect Joe Lombardo. He pulled in 488,607 votes. That was about 7,000 more votes than Senate candidate Adam Laxalt. And Stavros Anthony, who you just mentioned, who's a Republican and won for lieutenant governor, pulled in another 4,000 votes on top of what Lombardo did. So the bottom line is that these Republicans are all different from one another in varying ways. And Nevadans made their choices, as you pointed out, going right down the ballot. It's obvious that Lombardo received votes for governor, and Catherine Cortez Masto, a Democrat, received votes from those same voters for Senate. It's just that simple.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.